Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we're going to talk about the sticky situation with Gummi. While I love these Bobble Worm models, they've been fraught with issues ever since their release in Shadowlands. Gummi is no exception, so let's go over why. I'll admit, I'm a bit late to the Gummi train, but in for a penny, in for a pound, right? How could I call out Blizzard about Lil Flamio and Burgle but not mention Gummi? Gummi is part of a promotion between Trolley Candy and World of Warcraft, though it isn't limited to WoW. This promotion spans a few Activision games, and Gummi isn't the only reward for WoW. What's the catch? You guessed it, the promotion is US only. And while we're talking primarily about Gummi, I'm going to quickly point out that not only is this promotion US only, but some of the in-game items required people to purchase candy from specific stores. In my opinion, this added a layer of unnecessary complication to the whole situation. I've already made my feelings clear about making promotions US only, but I want to point out one more thing. The Gummi codes and burgles can be redeemed by players outside the US, which makes the whole situation ridiculous. This loophole simply created a market for scummy people to take advantage of non-US players who don't have a friend or someone they know in the US able or willing to help them get the pet. There was no way Blizzard didn't see this coming from 1,000 miles away, which means they allowed this to happen instead of finding an alternate way for players outside the US to get the pet. It would have also been nice to announce what their plans are, if any, for non-US acquisition of Gummi. That way, no one was unnecessarily being taken advantage of. If it's going to come to the trading post after February, when the promotion ends, then they should have told us that. That way people could make a more informed choice instead of some people paying upwards of $60 to get this pet. Speaking of the trading post, a few people have rightly pointed out that these pets will likely show up on the trading post or something along those lines at some point in the future. However, while Blizzard initially made efforts toward releasing items through Twitch drops and the trading post, I am a little concerned. We haven't seen a discontinued pet since October 2023 on the trading post, and the Twitch drops for pets are sporadic. On top of that, Blizzard has quite a lot of more desirable inventory than pets to get through for the drops. That said, as much as I'm looking forward to seeing some of the pets I'm missing pop up in a future drop or on the trading post, I do hope that these US only promotion pets get bumped up to the front of the queue. It's likely we won't see them sooner than 3 months after the promo ends, but once it crosses that threshold, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the non-US players. As for why the Bobble Worms have been controversial since their initial appearance in Shadowlands, I can go over that in a different video if you like. However, for now, let's stick with Gummi and move on to this head-scratching moveset. There have been a lot of interesting choices for battle pet movesets over the last few years, and Gummi is no exception. While most of the moves here are fine, how they're distributed makes little sense when combined with Gummi's stats. Gummi has a speed of 309, which means it probably doesn't need more than one speed debuff move, yet it has two, Squeeze and Slither, and they're in different slots. This might make sense for the 248 speed Bobble Worms, but even for the 264 speed Turquoise Bobble Worm, their being in different slots makes little sense. Tail Slap is fine, but I would have paired it in slot 1 with Arcane Barrage. Usually, you're not choosing two primary / filler attacks in different slots, except in the specific circumstance here of fighting a team with an Elemental and Flyer on the team that come in back to back. I don't hate that Crystal Prison and Prismatic Barrier are in different slots. I can think of at least one similar pet off the top of my head, and it can be a great combo to swap in a level pet and back out. So ultimately, if we just go with this moveset, I would have swapped Squeeze with Arcane Barrage and replaced Slither with something more useful. However, I had a lot of fun coming up with a moveset for Burgle, so let's take a look at what I think would have been fun given Gummi's flavor text, source, and that it's a Bobble Worm. I wanted to play around with the concept that apparently people like eating this variety of Bobble Worm, so I went with eating type abilities. Though I do know Nash is taking some liberties, it does involve grinding your teeth together, so maybe? That said, I'd like seeing movesets that have synergy, and the move Feast was too good to resist here, hence the bleed. I went with Nash over huge, sharp teeth because Feast is a big hit ability and Nash only gives you a 2-round bleed. If this seems overpowered, we do have pets with blood in the water and rip, so it has a precedent. And of course, the Bobble Worms tend to have magic and aquatic abilities, so I went with Swallow You Whole as a filler. Since the other side of the moveset was more aquatic, I focused on the magic side we tend to see with the Bobble Worms. Now, if you're something that a lot of people want to eat, you're going to want some defense and avoidance abilities. That's where Flash and Evanescence come in. I went with Flash instead of a full blind, 1 for the ability type, and 2, if a lot of people are managing to eat this thing, it's not very good at avoidance. Of course, that's why it has Evanescence as backup, because clearly some of these things get away, or we'd be talking about how they're almost extinct. However, since it gets targeted a lot and will be taking damage, I went with Arcane Riposte for slot 1 since it deals bonus damage when your health is lower. Like Burgle, Gummi can be mostly replicated across other Bobble Worms, so if you were worried about its battle capability, there's not any concern there. And, also like its friend Burgle, it does not come in default rare, so you will need to stone it to rare quality. Thankfully, the little worm generally won't run you more than $1 to $5 USD, depending on your location. I'm laughing because I had to re-record this section of the video. In the original, I said I hoped we could manage to get through November without another region-locked promotion and that I wouldn't be holding my breath. I had completely forgotten about the Mountain Dew and Dorito promos that went live today. You just can't make this up. All of that aside, what do you think? How soon do you believe we'll hopefully see Gummi as a drop or on the trading post? If you're outside the US, do you have any insight into why your region wasn't able to participate in the Gummi promo? I'm not sure it qualifies as a lottery or sweepstakes since you're guaranteed the pet with a purchase, so you aren't gambling. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for stopping by and happy battling!